Hey, Milky here, back again with another one. I really just wanted to jump on quickly and take a quick look at the patch update. I know we have all of the new collector's tokens, the new cards coming into the game. It's super exciting, but there's also some other key things coming out in this patch, which I just wanted to quickly call out in this video. First of all, we're just having a look. We've got all of the new cards and the new feature coming out, being the collector's tokens and the cards, which is awesome to see. But there's a few things in the general updates here which are really, really cool, and I think big quality of life and just general improvements to the game for sure. So, one of the ones that I really did want to call out specifically is when you favorite a card, and I'll show this a little bit later on. When you favorite a card variant, by clicking on the card and applying that favorite to that card, you're actually able to use that card in every single deck. This is just an awesome quality of life thing that I have. I've been wanting to have this in the game for a long time. Click that star button, get all your favorite variants automatically applied to all of the decks. Such a great feature to include. There's also things in-game now when you can see a little bit more about your opponent's cosmetics, which are really, really cool. Some really good changes specifically around ending turns and not accidentally snapping your opponent back or accepting that snap, whatever it might be. There's some a really good change there where you're going to have a delay where the button will be disabled for a couple of seconds, which is really, really awesome to see for sure. So this is the big one that I really want to call out from this update, is a general update around improved bad luck protection. So lots of players have been frustrated by other players unlocking cards much faster than them purely based on luck. And I think this bad luck protection is awesome for the game, where from opening collector's caches and collecting reserves, players going forward at the same collection level from this point will have pretty much nearly the same number of cards. That's a huge improvement to the game. So in saying that, lots of people are going to be completing their full pool 3 collections at pretty much the same time at this rate, which is a huge improvement to the game. I think it makes things much more fair in the game, much more balanced. Look, you are still going to have the randomness and the RNG of unlocking cards in different orders, but I think having the same amount of cards for across players and same rate of completion of your collections is going to be a huge step forward as well. So that's a massive one to call out. Some other things that I want to capture as well before we get into the card updates is the infinity borders and how good they look, and the new flare animations on the card. They definitely look way better. But the specific cards now looking that got nerfed, there's some touch-ups in this, and they're all based on nerfs. There's no buffs in this patch. They're all based around nerfs. One is Angela, and I think this one's definitely necessary. It's been a very strong card, Angela, since the game first came out. Angela was a 2-1. Knocking her back to a 2-0 just sets her ceiling of what she can reach power-wise just a little bit down. I like this nerf. I think it was much needed. You're still going to get a lot of value out of Angela, especially if you're stacking cards on the location and using cards like Nightcrawler to buff her up. Still get lots of value out of her, but I think just taking the edge off there is great. Destroyer also taking 1 power off Destroyer. They haven't particularly touched cards' abilities with this. They've just taken a little bit of power off each of these, which I think is a good approach to see where they land after this. Destroyer dropping back to 16 power can be pretty impactful. A little bit easier to play around as well. Mysterio, I think Mysterio became really, really strong, especially with different interactions and play lines you had in the game. And I really like what they said here about the illusions actually sometimes being beneficial. So knocking him back to a 2-4 seems appropriate. Maybe he even gets knocked back to a 2-3, but we'll see down the track. But I think Mysterio, this is a nice touch to just take him down a notch. And then the one we were all expecting, which was Sarah. Sarah knocking her back to a 5-4. I still think she's going to be very, very playable, very, very good. So I think Sarah is going to still have a very strong place in the meta. But it's nice to see her drop back power. I still think she's going to land in a similar spot. But it's a good step forward in terms of a little nerf. The notable nerf that we don't have here is Aero. I really thought Aero was going to get touched up with this one, but she's going to push on as one of the stronger cards, which will be interesting to see where that lands. And the final adjustment that was made is around Onslaught's ability, now working additively or stacking additively rather than exponentially. So for that, you're still probably going to get a lot of value out of Onslaught for the most part, but you're just not going to see the insane numbers that Onslaught used to put up, and the lengthy animations that continued to go off for what felt like hours upon hours. Onslaught's just toning back. he's still going to be very effective in what he does. You're just not going to win by those crazy margins and those crazy numbers that was happening in the past. So a couple of those visual pieces I wanted to show really quickly in game is we can take a look at the infinity borders, which now look absolutely awesome. They've got this incredible glow around it. The borders are fully like animated. Infinity borders definitely coming to the next level. I think these look awesome. Also the flare effects on cards. So for example, our Nova here has a flare effect going around. It changes colors. You can see that kind of even in the background as well. This one with the infinity split on it looking really, really clean. I really like what they've done with the UI kind of around the art in these cards. I think it's a big step up. Definitely something that was needed, as the infinity border did look a little bit average. But now I think it's going to be something that lots of people are going to go back to and run these infinity borders because they look super cool. Another thing, and an awesome thing to see, and we'll stay on Nova here for this one, but is that you're able to click this little button here, and what you can do is apply what are your favorite variants. So for us, our Nova baby variant is our favorite, and I think I'm really liking this this split here. I think I actually maybe, which one do I like the most? I think I actually like maybe this split here. So if I click this button here and I apply the my favorite to it, this will swap this anytime Nova's in a deck to include this variant all of the time. I think this is pretty awesome. I think this is a great feature. It's been needed for a while. It's just a quality of life thing, but I think it just makes it much easier to, hey, I got this cool variant, I've upgraded it, whatever it is, I can apply it to all my decks and use it straight away. So that's definitely something I love. Another awesome thing that they've added in with this update is they're now calling out the names of artists on the variants that come out. So for example, like this one here, we have a Dan Hip variant, calling it out as the Dan Hip variant, having his name accredited to that variant, which is awesome to see. Another one here, Max Grecki, we've got his name on the variant. I think this is a big step forward in terms of recognizing artists and the contribution they've made with the awesome art they provide for variants. All right, in a couple of hours, we're going to be jumping on and live streaming both on Twitch and YouTube, so I'd love to have you join us there. We've got, 5,000 plus credits ready to go. We've got a bunch of gold. We've got missions ready to go, and we've got 12,000 collector's tokens all ready to open a bunch of collector's reserves. See if we can get some new cards, see what we're going to have access to. Really looking forward to it, so we'd love it if you come and join us there. That's going to wrap us up for this one, and until the next one, I'll see you then.